I really appreciate that if she was
Probably not.
stitched up.
Yeah, I know. I get into a shitload of trouble, as I always do. I'm always in trouble. It's just, yeah, I
You're a male.
like it.
You're a
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I just like being in trouble.
male.
It's good. Good morning, Aaron. Good
Good
morning,
morning, good
world.
morning.
How is everybody? Have we got
Happy New
anyone
Year to
popping up?
everyone. First Q&A back for the new year.
Yeah, exciting.
Exciting. It feels good
Absolutely.
to get things back up and running, doesn't it? I feel
Yeah,
good
it does.
back
It
into
feels good to have some sort of continuity.
Mm.
I think that's the most important part. I'm just
Um,
going to check and see. Oh, yeah, there's Sean. Hey, Sammy. Good morning, Facebook user.
I was just about to say we've got a Facebook user.
Yeah.
I do know that Restream it must have done an update over maybe a refresh for the new year,
Morning,
but
guys.
even my name wasn't showing the other day.
Oh, really? Okay.
Restream, so
That's cool. Oh, it looks like we're working. We're cranking.
there might be quite a few that come in that aren't
That's good. Morning, everyone.
approved.
We're on the Q&A today, so if you've got any questions you want to ask live, hey, Sammy, what's up? Just had a swim. Feel good. Yeah, if you've got any questions you want to ask live, please let us know. Hey, Bree. Yeah, up above my head, wherever you're watching, there's a little tab. You can press the button and it'll tell you to give Restream permission to put your name up. Yeah, you feeling recharged, Ez, or?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm still feeling a little bit relaxed, I guess. Like I'm not like guns blazing.
Nice.
But I actually think it's a nice place to be. I feel like you go into the new year guns blazing, you burn out really quickly. So I
Yeah.
actually feel really content with I feel good. I've got some small goals. I don't have any big goals just yet. I've got some small goals that I want to hit at the start of the year and
Yeah.
going to work towards that. And I feel content with where I am right now. I feel pumped, but not yet, not like guns blazing. And then I'm
Well,
going
it's funny. I was talking about it last night on the men's call. Was that I went into this year different than I normally do. Normally, I've got everything, all my goals lined up, everything ready to go by January 1st, and then I've got all this pressure to complete all these goals by the end of the year. And this year, I went, all right, I've got some goals. I've got them outlined. I haven't gone into detail what they actually are. So I'm not going to put all this massive pressure on myself to start the year right. I'm going to start the year well, get this momentum, and then hit everything say February, March, really narrow down on everything.
I think sometimes too, when you start the new year, you obviously have a vision inside your mind of where you kind of want the year to go.
Definitely.
What that vision actually is, for me, I think if I was to sit down before the end of the year and go, yeah, these are my goals and really outline everything.
Yeah.
I think I would find that, 2-3 months into the year, it'd probably change very quickly.
Yeah, and it fizzles out quick too if you
because you kind of get that motivational boner because you're it's the end of the year and let's woohoo, and then it's meh. So yeah, I totally agree with that. I think have some goals and then just cruise into the start of the year.
Yeah, but I'm pumped. It's going to be a big one, but I'm also content in the fact that I know what I've got to do, but I'm not going to smash myself too early and put these unwanted pressure on myself. But it's interesting that you and I have got that different same perspective on attacking the new year, because like I said, I'm always used to having everything sorted, organized, ready. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, well, I'm actually surprised that because usually, you will come in, you'll be like, yep, I've got this sorted. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I haven't got that.
I've got some really cool, I've got a really good fitness goal that I'm starting to attack, and it's going to be fun to see how that works out, because I've never done this thing before. It's not like an endurance event. It's like I want to sculpt my body a bit more, and yeah, it's going to be hard because I'm going to be training, 14 days on, 2 days off type thing. I'm doing cardio and I'm doing some form of weight training every single day. So it's going to tax the body. But yeah, I'm looking forward
love
to it.
mixing it up a bit, don't you?
Yeah, it's good fun.
Testing yourself with different
definitely.
What would you call it? Not different workouts, but different body challenges, I guess.
Yeah, it's good.
I feel like you've done a bit of everything.
Yeah, I promised myself when I quit alcohol that I was going to do something hard every year, and it's kind of gone from, cycling to running to ultra marathon, and now it's like I don't want to do the taxing long stuff that takes forever. I want to do something that's going to, I don't know, impress myself. I've never been down to under 10% body fat ever, and I don't really have the need for it, but it's going to be a good challenge. So
is that what the goal is?
It's bigger than that. It's kind of still be doing cardio stuff, and but have a rig of an Adonis while doing it. So I want to see how I go. I just know food wise, I love food too much, and it's going to be really hard. And I felt over the last couple of weeks, I'm getting a little bit angrier because I'm reducing the calories a bit more. So I'm doing a cut, and then I'm going to do a bulk, but I'm going to still be training while I'm doing it. So yeah, it's going to be insane. So we'll see how we go.
That's exciting.
I only try.
I reckon you'll nail it. You'll be right.
Yeah. Morning, Tezza. How are you, my friend? Sorry, the rest of you guys, I can't put your names up because I do not know who the F you are. But anyway, let's get started with Q&A. Again, if you guys have got questions live, chuck them in the chat somewhere and we'll answer them for you. That's the goal today, is to provide as much value as possible to everybody around here. So, we can answer all these questions. All right. Are workout splits necessary, or can you focus on one muscle at a time? It's kind of a broad question, that one, because nobody's going to sit there and just go, hey, I'm going to target one bicep today.
That's it.
And then I'm going to walk around the gym looking like I've had that Stinsol, what's it called? That stuff that they inject in there, that oil compound. Yeah. So are workout splits necessary, or can you focus on maybe one muscle group at a time?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Maybe there was a typo at there. Yes, workout splits are necessary for targeting muscle. Like what type of muscle structure do you want to build? One muscle at a time will lead to we'll call it one muscle part at a time will lead to imbalances, I guess. So try to have a overall approach. No one's just going to go and say, hey, I'm doing chest week. I'm just going to do.
We all know, like, we've seen that person down the street. Got leg day.
What about lat dude that just does lats all the time, that walks around the gym like that? So let's just reword it. Workout splits versus body parts, I'm guessing. So yeah, both have a different compound. Body part splits are really good for you if you want to target getting bigger overall.
Yeah, overall strength.
Yeah. My favorite full body stuff. I like mixing it up. I like to be proportionate. But again, it comes down to personal goals for yourself. So I think that question wasn't typed right. One muscle at a time. It'll be one muscle group at a time. So it's.
And then I don't think there's anything wrong with focusing on one muscle group at a time either. No. But like you said, look at it in like a overall approach, as in if you're going to the gym 2 to 3 days a week, try and, if you're working on one muscle group each session, try and obviously split those up so that you're not just working legs all the time or upper body all the time, split it up so that you've got a bit of a variety there.
Yeah, well, body part splits are good for giving you recovery between sets. Like, so if you're doing full body workouts every day, we'll say 4 days a week, you're really pounding yourself 4 days, you're going to get pretty fit. I can't even speak to say pretty fatigued all over. But if you're doing body part split, if you just say Monday chest and back, or Monday, and then you don't do chest and back until say Wednesday or Thursday, at least you've given your body a couple of days to recover from that area. So in that sort of aspect, it's quite good. But it comes down to what kind of body do you want to have. Most bro splits, body part splits, are specifically to target you getting bigger and stronger. And full body stuff is a good all-rounder for people that have time poor and things like that. So question 2, I always feel bad. Here we go. I always feel a bad crash after my workouts. Is there any way to get out of that, or is it simply just stress/fatigue?
I would ask, my first question with this would be, are you taking a pre-workout?
Yeah.
If you are,
yeah,
probably best to stop. I know I used to take pre-workout before I came into BBA, and I tell you what, that crash after a gym session
Pretty bad.
was horrible.
Yeah.
I would feel sick. I would literally sit in my car and just go, "Oof, I feel like I'm about to vomit. I need 10 minutes before I can even get home." As soon as I stopped taking pre-workout, that stopped.
Yeah.
And then I think the next question would be is how hard are you pushing yourself? Like, are you going absolute hammer and tong through that session? You don't really need to. Again, it comes back to it doesn't matter how much you sweat or how much you huff and puff through a workout
No.
to determine what type of workout you're having. So are you absolutely flogging yourself? And then at the end of it, you're just like, oh, that's not enjoyable. That's not sustainable over a period of time.
Yeah, it's enjoyable in the moment. Like, don't get me wrong, but yeah, sustainable wise, no, definitely not. I think the other question you got to ask yourself: have you got adequate pre-workout nutrition? Are you fueling yourself with carbs? Because most of the time, are you hydrated? Correct. Yeah. Have you got electrolytes in your system? Like, we need salt, we need carbs before we go to the gym, so we've got energy, right? So I would be asking myself, do I have adequate pre-workout nutrition? And also, do I have adequate post-workout nutrition as well, which is doubly important? I'm not saying you have to smack a protein shake straight after the gym. Like I said, 32.7 minutes after you finish, you have to. That's when your muscle growth is. That time changes every time we come on.
33 minutes, actually, not that.
33.7, sorry, Jesus. So yeah, it's adequate, like post-workout nutrition, definitely. I'm a big advocate for, I like to eat my kids' cereal before I go to the gym, as in just dry. I'll have a dry mix, about 40 grams. It's plenty of sugar, plenty of carbohydrates, and also I like the Milo one. It's got high protein in it, which is really cool. Tastes good, and it gives you me carbs and sugar, so I can go and work out. That's my pre-workout before I go to the gym. But yeah, if you are feeling absolutely taxed after all your gym sessions, it'd be, hey, have you done a deload week? Hey, are you recovering well? Are you hydrated? Are you cooling down right? Are you just going straight from lifting weights to smashing yourself on the treadmill, running or whatever, and then you're not giving just go back and evaluate your workout intensity. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to grunt and groan and be this guy that's taxed on the floor every time he lifts. Like, mind muscle connection is just as important. Doing it slow, controlled reps, 3/4 reps are just as important. Are you sleeping? Like, what's your stress levels like at home?
There's a comment here about, I'm the same sometimes. I'm fucked when I leave, not flogging myself. I think it's really important to remember too, mainly for women, hormone fluctuations, like that has a huge impact on, when you go to the gym, how fatigued you are. Again, what's your sleeping like? Did you have a really poor night's sleep the night before? If you're not flogging yourself, you've got to kind of look overall of like, where's my nutrition been the past week? Where's my hydration? What's my sleep like? Because all of these things do come into it. If you're not absolutely flogging yourself and you just feel super drained, then and stress probably would come into that too. If you are super stressed, then the body's obviously going to be more fatigued.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences here that I guess it's personal circumstances of where you are actually at to why you would be so fatigued.
Yeah, definitely right. It's a good point to raise. So yeah, just go back and double check. Are you getting enough rest, recovery? Are you doing stretches? Have you got enough hydration? Are you eating well? Are you managing your stress levels? All that stuff. There's got to be a reason why you're absolutely flogged. Maybe you just got a new routine and you don't know your weight levels yet. I don't know. Maybe you're overextending yourself. But the post-workout crash generally comes from poor hydration, poor nutrition before and after, not enough recovery, and just going too hard too quick. So we got a live question here. If you are doing an exercise with free weights and each arm is lifting separate, one arm will be weaker. Do you make both arms lift the heavier weight? No, I would back off a little bit on that with both arms and go to a more comfortable weight that you can do with your weaker one, because you want to work that back up to be equal with your stronger one, I guess, if that what you know what I mean by that. So if you've got a rep range of 12 and your lefty's only going 8 and your righty's doing 12, I would back off to get lefty to do 12. And when you're comfortable getting that, start gradually increasing the weight for your right as well. It'll catch up pretty quickly. Hopefully that makes sense. I think that was Kate.
Yeah, definitely drop the weight back to what's comfortable for the weaker arm or weaker leg, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
If you go heavier and you're trying to build the muscle up in the weaker arm to what the other one is, you're just going to injure yourself. You're going to end up injuring that arm, and then it's going to become weaker again.
Yeah, that's it. I always have crank and creatine first. Okay, so you're having your protein shake beforehand. That's fine. I can't have protein before I go to the gym. In that sort of, I'll probably shit myself or vomit. So, yeah, I like to have my old dry cereal. There's nothing worse than having a gut full of food and trying to lift heavy.
The worst feeling in the world is when you go to the gym and you can hear that, and you think, oh God, I've got squats next.
You know what's worse is when you got your headphones on and you drop a fart and you don't realise that you dropped a fart. I know, and then you look around and you go, oh fuck, there's people
looking at me.
I just keep the headphones on and I'm like, sorry, I didn't. You've been there, haven't you? She's been there. Erin's been there, guys. Just letting you know. Erin's a chronic farter. Chronic gym farter. We've worked out something. Erin is a chronic gym farter. Cool.
I'm not, but I have been there.
And I bet she's a crop duster as well. That's for sure. She's.
I've lost it. I'm done. I usually blame my kids.
Cool. All right. Next question. If I wanted to put a marathon on my bucket list, where would I start? Wow.
Start with talking to Mike.
Yeah, I love this because
you know everything about it. I'm useless in this question.
Yeah. Oh geez. Okay, I'll deal with that shortly. Yeah, if you want to put a marathon on your bucket list, I want to ask yourself first is why, and then I want to say to you, well done, because it's a fucking hard thing to do. You got to get a plan. You can. There's some special people out there that probably can run a marathon without training. Very special people. Probably take them a very long time. But as it's been proven in the past, you got to have a plan. So you got to gradually train yourself to endurance. You can't just go, hey, I'm going to go do 42 Ks tomorrow and see what happens. It's not going to be that way. So get a plan. Good shoes, definitely good shoes. You need something comfortable in. I went through 2 or 3 pairs when I first started my marathon running. Just for comfort, you need to feel comfortable. Like, you're not going to go out and run a marathon if you don't feel comfortable. Don't neglect strength training. It's very important, just to keep the muscles moving. But yeah, it's gradual increase over time. So you can't just go from 0 to 42.2 in 1 week. It's going to take, well, I mean, I did it in 14 weeks, but that's because I had an aerobic base already. But most people, I look at around about 4 to 6 months is a good time to get from 0 to a marathon, but it's going to be gradual increase each week. So, yeah, it's just got to be, find a buddy that you can run with, join a group or get a coach, but get a plan. Get a plan. That's what I would do straight away for a marathon. And it's dumb if you're going to go in there thinking you can do it without one, because you won't enjoy it, and then you'll get to a point where it'll fall apart and you won't finish it. So get a plan. Enjoy the running. It's going to suck. There's going to be days where you're going to be doing 40 Ks a day, 40 Ks in a week, 3 runs, and you're going to be tired. But yeah, get a plan.
Out of curiosity, is it hard to train for a marathon while you're in a calorie deficit?
Yeah, it is, because of the amount of
come into this as well, like where you have to up the calories for more energy.
Yeah, definitely. So you'll have to be strategic with your calories. You most of the time you back end your calories on the long runs. you can do it with the shorter 10K runs. Like, you don't really need too much energy as long as you have your a good snack before you go for your run. But especially when you're coming to your 20Kers plus, yeah, you definitely need to play around with your calories. So if you do that, I would be highly advising on a couple of days out before your long runs, making sure you've got enough carbs in your system, and then testing the pre-run meals, because some make you want to shit yourself. There's nothing worse than a mid-poo run. Mid-run poo. That makes sense. No one runs while they're pooing. So yeah, it's really important. That's a good question that you asked that. So yeah, if you're on a calorie deficit and you want to lose weight and you're training for a marathon, we've got to play around with your calories. So yeah, it's a good question. Absolutely good question. If you could change one thing about your fitness now, what would it be? I like that question. It's a personal one. What would you do?
I'm a little bit on the spot now.
And guys, if you want to answer that question live, chuck it in there. I'd love to hear what you would do. I'll go first. Mine's definitely flexibility. I'm not flexible enough. I never have been. I still try every single day to increase my range of motion with my shoulders, my hips, my groin, my hammies. It's definitely my weakness when it comes to my overall fitness, I think. So, but it's something that I'm working on, which is really cool. But yeah, definitely for me, I'd love to be able to do the splits. I'd love to be able to have my shoulders properly retract, and I'm working on it. So that's what I'd do.
Yeah, I think I would probably be the same to an extent. It's always my hips. My hips are just always absolutely clapped.
All right, Shakira.
My hips don't lie. Okay. Definitely don't lie. If I run, mate, there ain't no lie that it's painful. I'm leaving that run with a limp. And I know that comes back to flexibility, but it also comes back to core strength. I'd probably try and change the flexibility and core strength. But again, it's a work in progress. So I don't think it would be like I would change that, because it's not like I haven't been doing it. You can hear children crying.
That's good. I like it. I'm back from holidays. Destroy the house.
Yes, I wouldn't change it, but I guess like that would be something that if I could just click my fingers and it was there, that would be it. Yeah. Definitely
would be. Yeah, I agree. So if anyone else, excuse me, if anyone else wants to comment on that, let me know. Next question. My son is 13 years old and wants to start training. Do you think this is okay? Will it stunt his growth? 100%. I think it's okay. I think there is a lot of studies out there that some children do get restricted on their height, and their growth stunts a little bit when they do lift weights. But most kids 13 years of age can't lift heavy weights. So for me, it would be, if your son wants to train in a gym, make sure either you know what you're doing or you've got someone that can show them what they're doing. I would start with body weight exercises to begin with, proper technique and form to avoid injury, mostly more than anything, and ego lifting. I would encourage warm up and cool downs. I would encourage balanced workout routine. I would encourage probably consulting a personal trainer to get a proper program for what they want to do. So yeah, I don't think it's an issue at all. It never affected Jace's growth. I mean, he's only 5'1", so so yeah, I don't think that's an issue. I had to do it. I had to do it.
I think that's, you're obviously doing something right as a parent if your child has turned around and shown interest in wanting to, start training, because I guess if they're not exposed to it, it's not something that is even in their eyesight. So I think that's really great if your kids are seeing what you're doing and they want to start doing the same thing. Like, it's just setting them up for a really good future by, encouraging training, not to encourage, like, obviously 13 years old and let's do bodybuilding. Like, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But if they're showing interest in just wanting to be, a bit more fitter, a bit more
Yeah,
healthier. I think that's
definitely.
great.
Yeah. Yeah, encouraging them is good, but making sure that you teach them the right way because you want them to go back. There is nothing worse than going to the gym and seeing a 13 or 14-year-old dude that's just walking around has no idea, and I feel it sucks.
Or doing things that you know that in the
Yeah,
long term are gonna
yeah,
end up in injury or
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. All right, cool. When I'm squatting, I notice my knees just turning a little. Is this okay? Um,
I
Look,
think this is pretty normal for a lot of people.
yeah, it is normal for a lot of people. It's most of the time because you got too heavy of a weight. You haven't been shown how to squat properly. You might have weak glutes or your hips might be weak. That's why your knees moving in. Um, you might have unstable knees. You might need to start working on your hip flexors and your groin and your glutes first before you start squatting. So,
Mm,
yeah, I would consult someone first on my form and just make sure that I'm actually lifting right. I would use a couple of 2 kilo heel plates and stick them underneath to increase my range of motion. But yeah, most of the time it's from too heavy weight. You
yeah,
see it all the time.
yeah.
Happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I tried to lift a little bit heavy and I saw my knee going. I was like, nah, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. So, yeah, and it could be just that you're lifting form. It could be that's just the way your actual body moves, your composition. So, yeah, just get someone to have a look for it and, yeah, just see how you go from there. But most of the time, it's okay, but it's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if it's, like, more than just a little bit of turning in.
Yeah.
I know when I do hip thrusts, I have to really, really concentrate on, like, my form
Yeah.
because I do find that my knees will turn in, and I've really gotta, like, imagine in my head that I'm pushing out with my knees onto
Yeah.
something, and
Good.
the minute that I don't focus on that, they turn in. So I
Yeah.
guess maybe there's a bit of that when it comes to squatting as well. You've really actually got to take notice of what you're doing with your legs. It's not just going down and back up. You've got to really sort of focus on that form as well and the stabilizer muscles as well.
Yeah.
That comes into when you're free squatting. If you're not using a Smith machine to squat, it's obviously going to be different there as well. And you've got to build those muscles up as well
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, do we get a new workout assigned through BBA? Yes, you do. If you are at the end of your workout program, is that Kate? I think.
It's
Yeah,
usually about 8 weeks.
yeah. So as most of our programs are an 8 week cycle. So if you are at the end of your cycle, send a message through the success team, and we'll definitely have a chat with you and see where you're at, and maybe increase it to a 4 day or do a different program for sure. But yeah, 100%. Just let us know. Is there a way to actually cure a hangover? Yes, there is.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. Don't drink.
Don't drink. Exactly right.
Uh,
Exactly right.
I don't think there's actually a way to cure a hangover.
No,
I mean, it would be lovely, but
we would be wealthy.
yeah, I think just limit how much alcohol you're drinking.
Yeah,
If you want to have 1 or 2 drinks, clearly you're not gonna have a
yeah,
stinking rotten hangover the next day. Keep hydrated.
yeah,
Don't just sit down, eat, drink, and you're just gonna feel rubbish the next day.
yeah. You can alleviate the symptoms, but you won't be able to cure it. There's always someone out there that says have a dirty bloody kebab the next day, and
Do you know what? I've actually seen a lot, and I think it's after that New Year period.
yeah,
Obviously, a lot of drinking happens around that time, and I've
yeah,
seen a lot of social media
yeah,
coming out saying if you take this vitamin with that vitamin and that one in a concoction, then
yeah,
you do not have a hangover. And I
yeah.
just
No, it's all
think
bullshit.
if I didn't know, I would actually probably go and buy that stuff
Yeah,
to try it because I guess like, that Christmas, New Year period, you do. We all, well, not for you, obviously, because you don't drink, but we all have more drinks than
yeah,
normal. Um, yeah, and you see that and you think, oh my God, that's the magic cure. Don't
yeah. Exactly right.
get fooled by that stuff either.
Yeah. How long does it take to get visible abs?
Hmm.
Um, Again, it depends where you are. If you're a big guy or a girl, it's going to take you a very long time to get there. Someone like me or you, as probably a good 3 or 4 months in a really tight calorie deficit. Um,
I have a very different perspective of this because of different body types.
Yeah.
For me, I have a lot of excess skin.
Yeah, true.
Absolute banging abs. I can't see them because there's excess skin there that doesn't allow them to be visible.
Yeah.
It's the same as when you do have a bit of weight on you, you definitely would have abs there if you're working out, but you just can't see them. So I don't think there's like a how long does it take? I think it's where your body composition is at. Like,
yeah, correct. That's what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are, if you're a bigger person, it's going to take you a lot longer. But then I'd be going back to the psychology of it. Why do you want visible abs? Do you want a six pack for vanity? Cool. Like, work harder, be in a bigger calorie deficit. And then when you get to the point, maintenance is a very tough thing. And that's the thing that's going to scare me the most if I do get down that far to get them, is I love food too much to worry about having visible abs. And yeah, I don't want them, but I want to have a crack and see how we go. But yeah, I think visible abs is a lot to do with what you shove in your gob. But don't forget neglecting working them out at the gym, or you won't have them.
Exactly.
How do I not break the bank with supplements? First of all,
get yourself a coach that doesn't recommend a whole bunch of supplements.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would fuck off all the fat burners. I would fuck off all the pre-workouts. I would fuck off all the shit that you don't know anything about, that are just selling you this golden Willy Wonka ticket shit that comes up and saying, hey, like this.
I like that. That's actually a good point. The golden Willy Wonka ticket. That's exactly what it is, right?
Sure. See?
The magic
of Willy Wonka. Yeah. The supplement king. So yeah, just get rid of all that shit. Go back to Whole Foods. You can get most of your nutrients from Whole Foods, right? Most. Sometimes people are deficient in something, whether it's vitamin E, iron, and you might need a tablet or a supplement for that. Cool, understandable. You'll get it prescribed by your doctor. No issues at all. When it comes to supplements for losing weight, again, the only thing we like is a protein powder, because it enhances your protein intake. I would shop around and find something that's around about the $40 to $45 a kilo mark for protein powder. We're not sponsored by them, but Bulk Nutrients is who we recommend, purely on the fact that, number one, they're very, very cheap. Number two, their protein tastes really good and it mixes really well with water and or milk. So yeah, I would just fuck off the gimmicks, the Willy Wonka fucking golden ticket shit. Buy in bulk if you can, food-wise, but you just go for Whole Foods. If you can eat most of your stuff through Whole Foods, you won't really need to go worry about supplements at all.
And I think the big misconception with supplements too is that they have like a huge success rate. Whilst there are some benefits, like we're not completely disregarding supplements altogether, because there are some benefits for some supplements, but the benefits are very minimal for the hype that they get. Like these fat burners, you know, again, you've seen all these things about OxyShred and things like that. And, you know, before I had a bit of knowledge about, like, I'm not super knowledgeable in this area because I just don't look into it, because it couldn't, I just don't use it. So I couldn't be bothered. But yeah, you know, the hype around it is, oh my God, if I take OxyShred and I go to the gym and I sweat, I'm going to lose weight, but I'm eating like crap.
Yeah.
Why am I not losing weight? But then when you start eating good, the benefit that it's got is so minimal. Minimal. You can't just start taking a supplement and think,
no, research.
Lose all the weight.
Yeah. If you're a bodybuilder that needs to lose 2% body fat, fat burners are going to work for you.
That's where the benefit is.
That's going to work for you. Contrary to that, if you are taking any supplements that you're not sure of, get a blood test. Happened to me years ago. I took a protein powder that had a fat burner in it, and it actually fucked up my whole cholesterol and triglyceride system. I had to go on blood thinners or whatever those tablets are, and I've never ever done that before, and it scared the shit out of me. But it was due to the fact that this thing didn't agree with my body. So So yeah, try and get whole foods. You can do it. We've stood the test of time. Supplements now are just well marketed Willy Wonka golden ticket shit that's making people look happy. Great, I'm going to win. Yeah, no, you're not.
And it's a bit scary too. I always think, like, again, what I said about pre-workouts, how scary is it that you can take a scoop of powder, drink
I feel like
it,
your ears are going to run off your head.
and like the tingling and the sweating, like, to me, I just think
It's not
longevity of my body.
Yep.
What's that actually doing to my insides? Like, what's happening in there that we don't know about?
Yeah.
It's showing external like factors like that.
Yep.
Imagine what it's doing on the inside. That's just so crazy.
It's pretty shit. All right, last but not least, is cycling better than running if I am carrying weight and have some knee pain? Yes, it is for low impact wise. But if you're experiencing knee pain, it doesn't mean it won't be coming back to you on the bike, because you still need to move your knee by cycling. You still need to put downward pressure to continue momentum. So I would go back to the root source of the pain first and find out what it is and deal with that. Maybe you don't have strong enough knees. Maybe you haven't worked on your calves or your tibialis muscle enough to strengthen that area up. It's super important, not just for squats and stuff, is you do the minor exercises around those areas, ankles, hips, as well to support it. But yeah, definitely, if you're carrying extra weight, cycling is better than running, but walking is even better than cycling.
Yeah.
It's even less impact and you won't fall off your bike.
Yeah.
So
whatever's the least impact, like obviously running, there is so much impact even when you don't have the extra weight. And then if you think, like, say you're even just 10 kilos over ideal weight, that's 10 kilos just banging down on your knees and your ankles.
You know what people don't know is when you're running downhill, it's 7 times the force of your body weight impacting on the ground. So if you're a bigger person and you weigh 100 kilos, 700 kilos worth of impact on your joints downhill. So everyone's like, oh, downhill is easy. No, it's actually fucking taxing. It's more hard. So
I don't like downhill. I find that downhill
it smokes you.
Yeah.
So is cycling better than carrying? Yep, cool. If you have knee pain, go back and find someone to help you out with the knee pain, and don't neglect strengthening those little muscles around your knees and as well.
And don't neglect losing a bit of weight.
Yeah, you'll feel better once you lose weight anyway, and then you'll be bouncing around. Cool. All right, guys, that's enough for today. Shut up, Willy Wonka.
No, I'm laughing at one of the comments.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
you don't look like Licorice also in Lycra if you walk. Who was that? I'm going to swear. Yeah, righto. Leave it alone. That's Kate. All righto. Thanks, Kate. That's really nice. I just noticed
I'll pay it.
I've got those swimming goggle bags under my eyes.
Goggle bags.
Yeah, it's nice. Anyway. All right, guys. Thank you for that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you joining us. Who did and who didn't, who asked questions live. Same time next week. See you later.